All right, are we rolling finally? Sorry, folks. What a crazy morning. Ninja was barking at me. It wasn't working right. So let's take a look at our levels. All right, yes. I think we are broadcasting. God bless you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my trading room here. We're going to be trading the Lion method, the Lion scalping method, with a little addition of the Lion claw indicator. Yes. If you don't like that name, let me know because I'm open to changing it. But again, glad to have you here. God bless you today. It's going to be a good day. You are involved in the greatest industry in the world, and that is trading. I just love it. And I'm so thankful you're here with me to share today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat here in YouTube. All right, you know what? I should probably share my screen, right? Okay. All right, you should be seeing my charts now. Great. Okay, I am just starting up Ninja here because I did have some technical problems with the platform, so give me a minute while I get everything here sorted. All right, nat gas looks wonderful. We got the MCL. Let's take a look at the 6E. Things are moving in the 6E downward. Okay, well, we do have a setup here in the HG. It's an oversold level, so we'll keep an eye on that. Just a little scalp here in the HG. This is silver. We like to watch silver. It's a big contract, so we don't trade it too often. Micro gold, where are you at? You're hiding on me. All right, so let's get that here. We got some action in the micro gold. This is a daily NASDAQ chart. Let's see how that works out. All right. We have our micro YM. That's the micro Russell, and now we have the micro NASDAQ. Where are you hiding? All right, guys. That's it. That's what we run through. Looks like we're at some pretty high levels in the NASDAQ is coming up. This is a daily chart. Oh, my NASDAQ is coming up to its prior high, so we'll see if we can break through that. We did plunge through a trend line, the upward sloping line here, so that is a concern. Long term could be a selling point right there. Let's go back. Oh, one thing we look at too, we do have some cryptocurrencies we like to watch. This is micro Bitcoin. This is the spot value for Bitcoin. And I like to watch Solana at 173 in Solana. Solana is the protocol for the meme coins. Yes, the Trump meme coin that went crazy right around the election and then plummeted. I don't even know where it's at now. Haven't watched it in a while. Hmm. All right. Now, one other thing we have is the addition of the order flow. Order flow down here, this green, this histogram in the subpanel. It is a look at net delta. Net delta is volume. When transactions occur at or above the ask, that is considered buy volume. And then when it's considered at or below the bid, then it is sell volume, right? And that is the net of those two, the buy volume minus the sell volume is the net delta. And that tells us if there's a net move of, buying pressure or selling pressure. So if your net is 400 plus, that means there's 400 more contracts being bought at the ask, the high price, than there is being sold at the bid. And that's interesting to us, right? It foretells a little bit of a short-term punch in the market. For instance, take a look here. We had, so the indicator, it does generate these green uh, histograms when there's kind of a historical or at least a near-term excessive imbalance. So when it goes above this upper gray line, we consider that to be excessive. And when it goes below the lower gray line, that is where we get these magenta colored histos, and that is considered to be excessive in the downside. So when those big events occur, we look for continuation in that instrument. Now here we had a good push upward in buy volume, but then we had the price closed down, the candle closed down, and it was still excessive buy volume. So that's interesting. So buyers came in, but they couldn't raise the price. And what that means is that all the buying was met by sellers, right? You have to sell and buy. And they couldn't move the price up. The price fell off and closed downward. So that is an interesting inversion. That's a divergence from what we expect. And that kind of signal is going to go down a little bit. It's going to drop a little, at least. And that's what happened here. So we had a good amount of buy volume on both of these candles, but the price is settling down. The long and the short of it is that kind of summary. Now here's a good punch in volume. You see right here, that delta is huge on this tiny little candle that closed up. And then the next candle, we had a lot of volume as well, and it closed up also. So these kind of continuing moves, when prices are rising, is a foretell of rising prices, or at least for the near term. And that's exactly, in this case, what happened. Here's an interesting situation. We had a big punch of buy volume on a move up, and then a pin bar reversal with pretty significant buy volume. And that is something very important. This is called a flush reversal. When we have huge up volume, net delta positive, and a pin bar. That's a very significant move. So the prices were rejected and absorbed. So the buying, all that happened was absorbed, and we ran out of buyers. And that is a harbinger of a downward move, similar to what happened here. This was pretty much a flush reversal as well. Not quite. We do like to see the price to be excessively high compared to the up bar move. This was excessively high, and it got reversed down. And this is a 1 minute chart. So that would be a good possible short for a flush volume sell, right? Okay. So enough on that. Let's talk about the Lion system. The Lion system is two indicators. It is this yellow line and the channels that are above and below these little pinstripe areas. That is the Leto channels indicator, and it gives us a scientific approach to overbought, oversold. We use statistics in recent history to determine when is a price really far away from the 100 and when is it not. And the idea here is when it's far away from the moving average, it usually returns down to the moving average. It reaches its azimuth, I think it's called, the furthest distance it is normally away from the 100 before it reverts. So it's all probability based calculation of overbought, oversold. When prices get between these in this band up here at the top, that's telling us that we're overbought in historical terms to the moving average. We're far away from the moving average. Usually it goes 90% of the time, it doesn't even reach this lower band. So 90% of the time it's down here. 10% of the time it's in between these bands. And that is like, you got the odds on your side when you're saying, okay, it's not going to go above these levels. 90% of the time it stays below it. So that's our little historical edge. Yes. Now, market obviously can do what the market wants to do. Probabilities are a great analysis tool, but they're not the holy grail per se. But it gives us an idea of why we should be either long or short. It gives us an idea. So let's couple this with the look at the order flow. Order flow is just positive, 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 positive all the way until here. You see that? And the order flow dropped negative. The moving average over the order flow, the net delta, started going down, down, down. So when you hit this level, I wouldn't be too excited about selling yet. Yeah, we're overbought, but the net delta is just too strong. This market is still going up. Now we go into the overbought region once and we drop out of it, and then we go back in again. Now the second touch of overbought is significant. We're looking at now the possibility of an exhaustion move. It's getting exhausted. And net delta shows us that. Net delta shows us here in this case that, yeah, people are done with buying. The sellers step in and the net selling starts happening. Now, it's still positive here a little bit, but it's certainly not as high as it was just a few minutes before. So aggressive net buying is happening here, a little bit of buying is happening here, and then we start getting negative. We get going below the midline, below the zero line, and that is when we start seeing sell-off. Now, the reason why I mentioned that is because Leto channels gives us a sell signal right here on this dot. So it gave us one here, but that was in the buying region. It gives us one here when net selling starts coming in. I think that was actually a negative number here. What is it? Somewhere around there. So we look for it to touch that level again. And that when that level gets hit right here on this bar, that's when we would go short. And we're only selling until we hit this line. Now that is the standard target. Is this blue line is a Fibonacci calculation of the last swing. The second target you would hit is the 100 moving average. So this yellow line. And that was hit right on this big sell volume bar. And if you're holding, now that's target number one. Target number two is the 100. If you're holding it, the next target down is the upper band of this channel. Now that's a far reach. Again, only 10% of the time does price get down to this level. So this is a little bit of a reach for you on targets. But we're actually getting close. I would probably have gotten out at the high right here, this, had you held out. So that's actually what we did yesterday on a Russell trade. Let me see if I can bring that up. I'll show you what we did yesterday. You can watch the video, of course, but the Russell just had a beautiful trade. Here we were on the Russell yesterday. We went into oversold, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Net delta started rising, and we went long right on this bar. That blue arrow right down here is long right there. And we rode this up to the first target, actually just a little shy of the first target. I was a little skittish. So we got out 2 contracts here and here, but we rode this thing all the way up to here, right here. And that was this low of this channel. So this channel started right at that point in time, and we got out right when it hit that. So that was an example of kind of holding out for a longer trade. It was a nice move in the Russell. Market continued, and that's great, but we weren't on it. We got out there at about 11:03 or so in the morning. All right, so that's what we did yesterday. Okay, let's see what we're going to do today. All right, everybody wants to trade today. It's 9:28 in the morning. We're coming up on the open of the equities. Okay, let's start with natural gas. Natural gas is what we were looking at just now. We're looking for, this was an overbought signal and we sold here. Would have been great. I was wrestling with some NinjaTrader problems, but during this time. So going short here is wonderful. We are now entering near the oversold region, and that's going to make us look for buy signals. So we're not there yet, but we'll be looking for them. We look for now in crude, Crude is not overbought yet. This is way up here is what we got to look for in crude. I had a big volume push there at 9 o'clock. I'm not looking at the news right now. Let me do that quick before the open here. Give me a moment. Let's pull up the news. All right, Wednesday, May 28th. Happy anniversary, my wife and I. We have our 20th anniversary today, so happy anniversary, honey Jane. Okay, what do we got news-wise? 10 o'clock, Richmond Fed manufacturing, right? Treasury buyback at 11. Oh, the FOMC minutes at 2. Could be a quiet day today before we get there. Let's see what our Forex calendar, Forex Factory. Been looking at this calendar for 25 years or so. Uh, yeah, nothing much. They just have listed, next thing is 2 p.m., 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. All right, well, for some reason at 9 a.m. here Eastern time, the Chinese had a CB leading index release. I wonder if that affected the crude market at 9. I don't know, but had a good push up. Anyway, so we're looking at getting overbought in that market. We're not there yet. We just touched oversold in 6E. We're heavily oversold in copper. Market is just bearish here. I probably would have considered going long on this signal and it would not have worked out. Our net delta is turning positive, we're oversold, and we get a little breakout here. So this isn't the holy grail. It doesn't just print money. We have to be intelligent about it and be disciplined. That is the key to trading. All right. We don't have too much going on here. This is a gold chart. A little earlier today at about 8:15, we had oversold on a big net delta movement downward. There really wasn't a buy signal. We like to buy at these blue dots and price just never hit it. And also we don't like to buy anywhere near the 100 because the 100 is a resistance area. You don't want to be buying anywhere near or above the 100. We want to be buying again at a really nice price. Let me show you what that looks like. Again, that gas trade today was a perfect setup for the lion. Like I just went over. This was our sell signal. We go short there and we hit our target pretty quickly. So we're selling above the 100 and the 100 is actually at one of the targets for that short. All right, so let's have a look here. $9.33, so the open has come. Let's take a look at the equity futures. All right, let me get my platform together here. Still doing some changes from allergies are kicking my butt today. All right. So, what do we got going on? Well, we're right around the 100 MA, so not much here on the dial. Again, we want to get overbought, oversold. Step one, get somewhere down here or somewhere up here. We're not at either one of those. Nothing going on here in the Russell and then the NASDAQ. Now, one other feature of Leto channels, which is this indicator, again, the yellow line and the channel areas, is it does produce these tendency histograms. So the market, what it's telling us is that historically over the last week, the market has tended to be above the 100 MA during this time of day from 9:30 onward until here. The future is 1:15. So that is just telling us that there's a tendency for this market to be up. And certainly a lot of buying coming in here. A lot of buying strength. Yeah, so if our tendency is to be up above the 100 during this time of day, and we have buying strength coming in, it could be a sign of a trend trade in the long direction. We would like to go above a breakout of this level. We just broke out of that level. So if now the MA is flat, we like it to be trending. It's flat right here, right? So not too excited about that. But if we were to go long here, our first target is this fib level, this kind of magenta colored line, dash line. And that could be a good way to go, right? A lot of buying pressure. The market is above the 100. We have a tendency for it to remain above the 100. And we're just targeting this level right here. So I'm going to do 4 contracts because I can risk 4 contracts over this distance and it only risks $300. So from here, see where the blue line is on the chart, for this angled. If I put a stop here and I went long here, it's $300 of risk if I do 4 contracts, right? And that's because we have our little risk calculator down here in the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do a trend trade here. Oh, we're actually filled on 1 contract. All right, we're filled on 4 here now. Okay, so we're long in the market. I'm going to go and put our orders in, right? First one is here. Now this is a trend trade. I really don't like trend trades, to be honest with you. They're not as predictable in my estimation, but we're in nonetheless, and it's actually working out pretty good here. We just got to get up to that level, and we'll be out with profit. Not too bad. Let's see if we can get up there. Market does what the market wants to do. It's my wisdom for today. I think volume is trickling off, not quite as strong. If we can hit that. We are long in the micro NAS. I'm going to move my stop up in case we quick reversal. I am just a small amount of risk here. Just a little bit of risk. Coming up on this high. High is a little bit beyond our target. Tell you what, I'm going to move it down. Okay, there we go. So we got our target, folks. We got a winner right off the bat. And that's a trend trade too. That's not normal. So it was a 34 on a micro contract, on a full size, that's $340. So we did hit our target. I should have kept it there, huh? Anyway, so there we go. We got one. Now I like to measure it from initial risk. The initial risk on the trade was $64. We hit $34 in profit, right? So just over 50%, which makes sense. We tightened it up a little bit. Had we stayed on to the full target, it would have been 62% of our risk. All right, but that is, what's 34 divided by 64? Let's do a quick 34 divided by 64. It was a 53%, right? 0.53 R. That's how I managed that trade. It was 0.53 of the full risk or identify the trade. So if you risk a dollar, you're going to get 53 cents. If you risk $1,000, you're going to get $530. All right, well, let's look for another trade. Silver is falling out of bed. Falling out of bed. Again, we're really interested only when it gets down to the oversold level. Copper is diverging. All right. Well, here we go. We've got a super push in net delta, but not quite as much, half of it almost. And then we've got a lower price in copper. So we went from here and then we dropped down a couple of ticks. So this is a divergence. It's getting lower on weaker action, lower pricing on weaker selling. That is something to observe and keep an eye on. We're probably going to get a buy dot. Yeah, we just got a buy dot. See that blue dot there? Okay, so the buy dot came in. This would be our buy level for copper. Put a blue line there. Keep an eye on that. What I'd like to do is when the market doesn't just hit it, it needs to push through it. I like it when it pushes through this level. And that tells me that this level is weak. So when it touches it and hits it, there's a good chance that it's actually a strong level and it continues downward. Like this guy right here, this level, this was a blue dot here. It just poked its head above it. And this is what we call a fake out breakout. And it sold off. And that would have been a good reversal short, but we don't trade that. We want a market that pushes through that level. I think the HG here is a good example. It pushed through that. It didn't hesitate. It stopped here on the 1 minute chart, but then it went down here, right, pretty quickly. So that's a good sell push. That level was weak, and that's what we want to sell from weak levels. All right, crude 6E. Again, copper is down here. Not much movement though. Copper is a thin market. This is the gold. All right, well, gold you can see is oversold here. It's oversold. It too is diverging. We have a strong push, but lower prices here. Now this, if this bar closes up, that's a pin bar flush reversal. Now it didn't close up, but the next bar is certainly moving up. So a few seconds away from being a really good pin bar and a flush reversal. Again, flush reversal is when net delta is negative, but the price is positive. That's our divergence. All right, I've been talking a lot here. I'd love to hear your comments. Feel free to leave them in the chat. Chat it up. Like, comment, subscribe. Be gentle. Or don't be gentle. Be rough. Be rough. Well, OIM looking positive. Again, it's got a tendency to be positive. That too hit its target on a trend trade. Here's the Russell, who's a little weak. Delta is going negative. This was our NQ trade. I'm actually pretty happy that a trend trade worked out. Well, I'm pretty happy whenever any trade works out, but trend trades are not my friend. All right, gold is definitely moved out of its oversold region. Got some buyers coming in, but it hit this level. I don't have a buy dot really yet. I would like to see it pump back down into the oversold area, which is right down here right now. If it pumps back down into here, we'll get a buy signal probably on that bar, a buy level. If the net volume stays tame, then it would really be a good buy signal. It's still negative. We still got negative net delta. Okay, what are we doing here in silver? Copper. All right, well, we hit our buy level. You see that? It just touched it, and it is not strong enough to go through that. Keep an eye on that. XE. Crude. Now, the crude actually had a half of a good lion signal. Um, if it was overbought, that would have been a chance to go short on there. It did hit target, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Nat gas, I don't know why I'm not getting an active chart on this. It's not updating. I gotta talk to my data provider. That really went oversold. Hmm. Hmm. Again, we're not oversold, so we're in the 90% range. We don't want to trade in with the normal distance, right? The typical range, because you can get chopped up in there. So logically, we want to wait until we're in areas that are pushing us or resistance. And what I mean by that is that once we get too far away from the 100, it's very exceptional, and prices revert to the mean. It's just the way that it does, right? Some big news comes out, market moves to an overbought, oversold level, and it just doesn't usually stay there. So our probability says that it's going to revert back to the mean, maybe even go to the other direction. Because of some manipulation of the market, perhaps some outlying event where people panic and they realize that they made a mistake, right? And the world's not ending. And then the buyers step in at cheap prices, and that's where you want to be. All right. Well, we didn't get a buy signal because the market just a little too fast right here. So again, I'm looking for it to come back and touch down here. This is gold. Mm. Equities have a negative net delta now, so they are. The Russell is certainly going down. Micro Nas, glad we got out when we got out, right? Net delta is still positive, and we're falling, falling, falling. So these are all uh, almost. So I wouldn't call them thrust reversals because that really occurs at extreme prices and then reverses out of those. So this would have been a thrust reversal at the high. So we had a negative pin bar at a high, a relative high, and a strong positive net delta. This was a thrust reversal candle right there. All right. 9:51. We're coming up on that 10 o'clock. What do we got at 10 o'clock? We got the Richmond Manufacturing Index. Orange level. 2 o'clock FOMC. Now that might really make the markets go quiet today until 2. So we got one in, one trade at 0.53R. Big D has decided to turn around. That's well, I wasn't paying attention, but this was an oversold level. This would have been the buy level because it's lower than this guy. So the lowest price is here. You would have taken some heat, but we're just coming up on target if you did do that flex lion reversal here in the 6E. Let's switch out the 6E chart and take a look at something that we'll look at every now and then, and that'll be the live cattle chart. I don't have a problem with going into the ag markets, meats and grains, but this chart is looking kind of sleepy. Not much here. HE is the live hogs. Who doesn't like a price on bacon? Right here is flush reversal candle right there. Would have sold off. Nice. That was a move up. Couple of flush reversals there. All right. Well, in live hogs, we are just getting out of the overbought region. We don't have a sell dot yet. Net delta is starting to decline. Let's quickly move over to one more ag market, which is the feeder cattle, GS. Definitely a thin market. It could be really jumpy. Not much going on there. Get back to live hog. That one seems to have some action. We're out of overbought. Just waiting for a buy dot there. All right, well, copper failed, hit that level and just dropped. So this is the new buy level here. Okay. Oh, that's nat gas. I'm not getting prices on nat gas. Well, gold went on without us. This would have been a good buy level. It just never printed, and that's because the way we have it set right now is the buy levels only occur if 4 bars are lower than it, and it was only 3 bars here that were lower than it, so it pushed through a little ahead of schedule. No biggie. We'll catch the next one. YM went back to its open. The Russell is nowhere near its open. It's down. NASDAQ certainly sold off. All right. I would think of this as a trend trade down, but I don't like the tendency histogram to be so positive. So for me, a trend trade is it breaks through the 100, retraces back to the 100, and now that first move uh, away from the 100 is a good one. This one I went long on a trend trade. It had gone up kind of, I don't know, it's kind of murky, but there was just back and forth. We went long right as it broke through that level. This one, I mean, there's so much buying volume happening at that time, and the tendency again was positive, so that's why we went long on that NASDAQ. So copper's new buy price is in. That would be our buy in copper. Gold. It's too high, and the market is too high. I don't like to buy near the 100. Again, this would have been the price right here. A more courageous trader, not me, would have gone long on this thrust reversal bar. I remember watching this, but we didn't pull the trigger on it. Into the oversold. That's step number 1. Step number 2 in the Lion system is to look for one of these blue dots, but there wasn't any in this big move down. And step number 3 is to look for this volume to be rising, right? The net delta. All right, so live hogs. We have what I think is a good sell signal. So how many contracts can we trade? We can trade one. Let's keep an eye on this. Nice, it tucked up right up into this supply zone. The supply zone is, let me draw that as a rectangle. It came right into that supply zone. You can see that. This is this region where basically it ran out of demand. And so right here is where there's a lot of contracts being offered for sale. And so there's lots of supply out there. People want to sell it. And that's where we hit retrace back into that bouncing out. So we'll see. Mm. Man, live hogs can be sleepy. All right, so copper is trying to get to a new high out of this oversold zone. And it is moving. It's a little risky. So this is over $300 move in copper, but we'll move our stop up as soon as possible. I think we're going to go long on this market. I need it to push through a little bit and then we'll buy on a limit. I like the idea of the tendency histogram being so positive, right? Again, this means that the market tends to be above the 100 period moving average or this yellow line during this time of the day. All right, so I've got my buy limit order in. I went by right at the high of that price bar. We are filled. Let's do our OCO order. Sell limit one here. Sell stop down there. All right, this is our OCO order. Let's see what we can do. I like it already. We are long in copper again on a classic lion trade. Tendency is strong up. We broke through levels. We're oversold. We're breaking to new highs. Makes sense that this market should go right to target. But again, markets do what they want to do, regardless of how well we figure them out. This might work. Hey, I'm gonna need some coffee after we hit our target here. Come on now, hit that. Don't be a don't be a fool. Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel either. All right, so we're at half of our risk. Our risk again is, I think it's 180. Our risk is only 180. No, our risk is 325. That's right. So we're risking 325. Okay, so we had one bar close completely above the entry. So I am moving my stop to break even here. That's one of my rules is the minute we get a good clean bar above the entry price, we move our stop to break even. Copper might hurt us. Come on now. I mean, if you're feeling like it, go ahead and exit the market here. We want to. I mean, the net delta is still positive. And just copper hit our entry price, target price, and just didn't fill it. We still got a strong tendency upward. So I'm going to go 2 ticks in the market on the stop, in the money on the stop. But if you do bail out here, I don't blame you. Putting $112 in your pocket is a good idea whenever you get a chance. But we're holding on for, I think, 187. 175. We're holding on for a 180. No, wait. I measured from the wrong spot. I think it is $200 target. That's what we're holding on for. Let's see. This is a classic high topping pattern, though, right? I mean, 50% retracement from this swing down could move down lower. Copper is thin. Copper can hmm, well, I'm running out of gas. We might only get 25 bucks out of this trade. Touched our target and just didn't fill it. This is trading. This is how it goes. Yeah, we got filled, and with slippage, we're down at break even. Ah, well. Well, that's a disappointment, but we executed our plan pretty well. Just break even trade. I was up 175 here. This is life. Back is right, that's the YM. Here's the Russell. Or the Russell yesterday, it moved strongly down into oversold. I showed you the chart, and then it just lifted like crazy. And I think we had a news announcement come out that moved it pretty well. So I think it was certainly some manipulation. Nazi has not moved down much since its fall. Tendency histogram is up. It is what it is, y'all. So glad I got out of copper, even though it was a break even. Copper is moving down. Net delta is coming in negative. So we were right to move our stop. Good job. Let's pretend it never happened. Oh, all right. So let's see now. We got a short signal in live hogs. How many can we trade? We've got one. I'm going to go and do a sell stop market right there. I don't want to chase it if it's going up. I will put a sell stop there. Got a buy limit there. We're risking only 180 bucks because we'll put a stop above that level. Yeah, live hogs, guys. We got a short opportunity. Be honest with you, if we get filled short on here, I'm going to put the stop very tight. I'm going to put it right at that level, right here, because I assume, if that's a turning point in the market, a swing, might put a tick or two up. So I'd only be risking maybe 90, $100, 90 bucks. It's a $90 stop up to there. Put our target a little bit between the 100 and the extension 62 line. So the second indicator in Lion is the one that is printing these dots, the blue and the red dash lines and the blue dash lines. So that's the extension 62 indicator. That's giving us our entries, our targets, and our stops. Entry is this dot, target is the blue line, and the stop is the opposite dot. We might get filled at the 103 level. What happened with copper? I'm just gonna take a look. Copper's selling off. Good for you, copper. You faker. You did me wrong, copper. Come and get me, copper. You did me wrong. Wrong. Net delta is still negative. That's good. We want this thing to be. All right, well, we are in the market. I'm gonna put my stop right there, guys. I'm not risking much on this trade. I mean, the full amount is to go all the way up to this blue dot, and that's 180 bucks. And that's fine. I ain't no hero. All right, that's good. That's a healthy move in our direction. We're short live hogs. I remember my first trades back in like 1991. I was trading commodity options because I didn't have a big enough account to trade the full. full size. So they let me trade options. My first trades, I'm pretty sure, were in cotton. Back then, we traded daily bars. We didn't have minutes, so it was all daily bars. I was trading cotton spreads. I think I did okay, but the whole idea of a credit spread helped a lot in trading. And they had to be covered options. They had to be, you couldn't have unlimited downside because I think I only had a $2,000 account at the time. 1991, $2,000. It's probably like $20,000 in today's money. Remember all these elaborate options, strategies I had. All right, come on now. Don't be a problem. Let's move our target up just a little bit to that level. Remember I traded cotton. I also was in a position in rough rice, so the white rice, I believe. And I traded some T-bond options back then too. I think I did horrible on those. They were cheap too. I bought like $25 for 4 T-bond options that just totally way out of the money. They were failures. Looking for a big move. Just didn't happen. Okay, now live hogs. Don't be ridiculous. Remember Belky? Don't be ridiculous. Maybe you don't. Am I dating myself from the 1980s? Perfect Strangers? Perfect Strangers, Women? I think it was. Don't be ridiculous. Bronson Pinchot. Really? Live hogs, you're making me look bad. Making me look bad. Live hogs. Making me look bad. Not over yet, folks. Net delta's still negative. Tendency is a little bit downward. Not excessively, but from my perspective, it should go down to target right away. Right? It's just so obvious. All right, while we're sitting there watching that guy, Copper is flirting with me again. Dirty Copper. Ooh, a nice thrust reversal. Negative delta, and then a big move up. MYM. I think they're pushing lower on the equities. Waiting for our 2 o'clock FOMC meeting. All right, well, we're moving back here to break even on our live hogs. Oh, yeah, come on now. We're in the money. We're in the money. 10:20 in the morning. We usually trade until 11. Wow, nat gas just took a header. We would have been short from up here in nat gas. Just going south. All right, live cattle, live hog, we're still short. The market is hitching here, which is good. You can go down. All right, well, our target's at the 100, which is okay. Keep an eye on that. At the target, as the 100 moves up, we're going to move up that target level. All right, this is looking good, guys. Come on now. Uh, live hogs. Lean hogs. Did I say live hogs? Lean hogs. I think it's lean hogs. Live cattle and lean hogs. My gosh, I've been saying live hogs this whole time. Look at this, guys. Come on now. All right, so our risk is 90, and we're at plus 60 right now. So that's a pretty good reward to risk. Come on now, baby. We did have one bar that closed completely in the money, and that was this bar. I'm gonna hold off for one more bar and then move our stop to break even. All right, well, there it is. Let's move one tick in the money on lean hogs. I got a feeling it's gonna hitch up again. Well, it is what it is, guys. It's our strategy. We might get stopped out. It's a lot of spread. There's a big spread in lean hogs. Well, we did get a tick on lean hogs, so I won't even record that, but we got a tick. Just couldn't get the momentum. We're coming close. Ooh, look at that copper, you temptress. Copper does have a buy signal here. We kind of missed it. We're late to the party. But I won't chase the market. We're already hit target on it. I'm just gonna wait for it. Maybe it'll touch it, come back. Our risk is 162 here. All right, let's see if we get it. Gold, Dow. The Russell is waking up a little. Let's see what copper wants to do. No, I'm glad we got out of our lean hogs. All right, lean hogs didn't work out. We were in the money for a little bit. Got our tick, one tick out of lean hogs. How much is a tick? $10 a tick, so we got 10 less commissions. Oh. Let's move our lean hogs over to a agricultural product. Go to the bean oil. Had some good trades there already. So this is bean oil. Oh, that's a good trend trade in bean oil. We go short because we rejected at the 100 and we're going short here. Target would have been hit. Let's see what ZS has for us. This is soybeans. Oh, copper is filled, guys. All right, so that's that, and let's see. This will be our target. Targeting just a simple $112 target. I don't like that we got rejected from the 100 so strongly. I don't like that. I mean, I picked a trade that's a little bit closer to the 100 than I prefer. Not ideal. Let's see what the universe has in store for us. So we had one winning trade. We've had a break even and we've had a one tick win. This was our break even trade in copper, and we were up 175 bucks. Anyway, it's a killer. Where were we? Yeah, this was our winning trade in the micro NASDAQ. That's right. Our one tick win in lean hogs was right here. That's our big one tick win going short here. Look at that. We hit that target. Oh, we got some positive news in copper. All right, we're targeting 125 in copper. I'm gonna move my stop. Let's go right at that low. Tighten up the risk. Who knows what the next bar will be? Nobody knows. We know nothing. We operate on belief. Oh, doesn't look helpful. Somebody decided to sell a whole bunch of copper. Now, the net delta is positive. All right. Well, guys, that one didn't work. It didn't work. And you know what? That's just the way it goes. We lost 87. I'm still up 60 bucks for the day. Silver seems to be selling here. There's just not a lot of net delta, not a lot of activity here at 10:30 in the morning. Yeah, things are just quiet in the market. Russell is getting closer to that oversold. Oh, lean hogs has just hit its overbought region, which is those yellow dots. And we're coming into that strong downward. Net delta is negligible. It's really just break even. Crude oil, nat gas is not functional. Silver, very tempting. Copper is a big, oh, look at that, big punch in positive delta. I think it's going to be sleepy here until we hit our 2 o'clock. Shame. You know, we missed our winner here. I went in hoping it would push up again, but it just didn't happen. But it was a winner here. We just got one tick away from being a winner on our first trade in copper. Guys, this is the way it goes. I wish the world was a different place, but it isn't. Still a great industry, a great career to have. Being a trader, who would argue with that? It certainly tests your mettle, tests your ability to be disciplined, tests your thought process, and it's a little bit of chaos out there, right? Who wants a simple world? The chaos of the markets. The fun part is finding a way to harness the chaos. NCO. That gas is still offline for me. All right. See, silver is bottomed out here. Gold is right at its 100 moving average. There's nothing going on there. We're doing our hunt. We're going through our list of instruments. This is the crude market. This is lean hogs again. Coming out of overbought. Boy, it's tempting, huh? Don't really have a good sell signal because the market structure just wasn't there. We're right at our level where we sold before. That was our sell level. So I'll tell you what, let's gonna sell a limit. We'll sell a limit at our prior price. I don't want to chase the market, so let's let it come back to us. I like the tendency. The tendency is down. We're starting to get selling coming in. Copper is messing with me. Thank you, copper. That's what I needed in my life. Lean hogs. We're looking at lean hogs. Oh, close to that 100 though. Hey, we are short in the hogs. A stop loss is $120, so 12 ticks. Stop right now. I'm shooting for right around that target level. $90 target. Let's move it up to the 80. That's right where the 100 is. We are short in hogs. That delta is negligible. There's not much conviction here. Hmm. All right. Moving in a good direction for our lean hogs position. You could drop further. That's all right with me. You can drop more. Does anyone else talk to the market? I talk to the market. Who says day trading is a lonely business? You can talk to your markets. Hmm. Hmm. Don't do me like that. Lean hogs. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. You better watch it, baby. Don't do me like that. I'm moving my stop though. Let's move it much tighter back at the height of that swing. Reduces my risk down to 40. Again, our tendency is down here at this time of day and live lean hogs. Net delta is still negative. Very barely. It's almost not even considering to be considered. Um, but we are coming out of overbought. The market moves solidly out of overbought. It's just wiggling. Not, I mean, Leto's channels hit the overbought, oversold areas pretty good. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. I don't want you, baby. Don't. Well, I don't know. Not much conviction here, guys. I don't know if it's gonna work out. Having trouble finding a mover. Let's took our little tight stop here. We are a tick away. Trading was easy. Everybody would be trading. Who would win? If everybody was winning, how could that be? I can't. We need losers. Winners and losers. I asked too much of the market, guys. I asked it to go down to the 100 and it just couldn't do it. Yeah. All right. We got stopped out. So we're break even for the day. Almost done with our trading. Oops, that's not green. Sad. So we're break even. We're just not getting the movement. I think 2 o'clock is going to be a different market. All right, lean hogs. Got a little thrust reversal bar coming here. Downward move on buy volume at a top, almost overbought at a little top level. I don't know. And you know what? The worst thing you do is if you're bored, trade. I don't think I'm gonna put a trade on there. 10:47 in the morning. I think we're done, guys. I'm sorry. We got a win there early, and little break evens here and there. Two losses. One was in copper. We had this loss in copper, and then we had the one loss in lean hogs. Well, it came back to our target. We went long here, and our target was right around that level, and it did hit it. I was just a little stingy on my stop. But the stop here would have been stopped out. So we cut our losses, and that's managing risk. And that's actually a good thing. Gold is oversold on gold. Oversold on gold. Copper is meeting its resistance here at the 100. Gold, again, oversold, but just stuck there. Tendency is up. I think we're waiting for the big news. 2 o'clock FOMC. I'm sure it'll be good news. Then we will be seeing the NASDAQ soar to new highs. And it's right at that tipping point. 1051. I don't know. I think that's all we're going to see. Look at that. Just a whole bunch of sideways in gold, whole bunch of sideways in silver, copper, in a wider range. It's been this whole area. Nothing on net delta, zero. Old Zilcho. Net delta is almost zero here. These markets will wake up and they'll move. I think 2 o'clock is the key. All right, soybean oil. It's like a buy signal coming up. We're rising that delta, falling price. This was a nice trend trade. $10.53 in the morning. Break even May 28th. Dow, gold, silver, copper, soybean oil. I almost fell asleep. Yeah, we're done. Maybe these markets are getting set up for a rally like they did yesterday. The Russell sure rallied. Oversold in gold. Now, it's interesting. The volatility sure contracted. So the channels earlier part of the day are this far from the 100, but right now they just tightened up to nearly the 100. So we're coming at a very low volatility time. So this is telling us that usually right around this time the market is at the 100 compared to the volatility, at the prior hour, half hour was much greater distance than here. So All right. So, Leto channels, the good thing about it is it keeps us out of low volatility times. It keeps us out of that just chop, that back and forth mess. We're looking for times of volatile action. That's what we need, volatility. So we're waiting for it to get to these extreme levels, and those are volatile places. So that's where we make money, volatility. This 100 is being respected in copper. Yeah, 1058. Sure is moving out. Staying within its range here. Green oil. Nada, nada. Well, we did get oversold here in bean oil, second time, so a double touch, triple touch actually. Boom, boom, boom. Well, the Russell is coming alive, but we're still not oversold, so I'm really not too excited about it. Mm. People, well, we're gonna wrap it up. It's 11:02. Been a pleasure. So we broke even. We made the brokers some money, but we didn't make ourselves some money today. Um, it's been a pleasure again. God bless you. I wish you nothing but good things today, and we will be back Thursday. Today is Wednesday, so we'll be back tomorrow. Hope you can join me again. Email me if you have any questions. My store, the website up here is store.spgtradingcorp.com. Feel free to stop by and buy something. If you have any questions, you can email me. I'm at ben@spgtradingcorp.com. Other than that, folks, be blessed. Subscribe, like this video, and we'll get more content to you in the near future, starting tomorrow.